Hi, my name is Susan Maines and I live in the best place in the world for painting, I think, in Grenada in the Caribbean. And when I get ready to paint, I always tie my head with my Grenada rag because it makes me feel patriotic and good, and it makes me not get paint in my hair. So find a rag, tie your head, and let's start to paint. Yes, here we go now with the brushes. Okay, first of all we have our filbert brush, which is sort of rounded at the end. Gonna dip it in water and then get a little paint onto it. The filbert brush can do lots of things. For example, if you're making the rounded edge of a flower, you can stroke and turn it just like that, where you actually use the width of the brush to help give you the design. It's also very good for making the tops of trees. I'll show you that in a minute when we mix the colors. But the filbert brush has lots of uses, and you need that in your arsenal of tools. Okay, the round brush, again, very good for scrubbing in if you're doing foliage, or if you're doing a wide section of color. You see what you can roll it like this to get the effects. We're kind of looking like watercolor here a little bit, but this is acrylic paint. You can also use the round brush just with the point. You can stipple with it. You can get edges with it, but not as fine as the edge that you can get with a flat brush. A flat brush is a very useful tool. We're going to get some strokes here. You can also take the end of the brush and paint it, so getting the lines that you need. So you must have a flat brush. If you're doing any kind of buildings or houses, or doing anything like putting water down on the sea, you're going to need a flat brush. Then this is the liner brush, and I told you mine's a little raggedy and a little worn out. That's okay, I'm going to use it anyway. Brush it in, dip it in some water, squeeze the water out, and that helps to deal with the frays. Maybe it needs some conditioner. Sometimes if you put hair conditioner in your brushes, it helps them to behave a little longer. And so the liner brush is exactly what it's meant for, to make lines. And you can also make really nice effects of it, like if you're doing a grass and you put down your brush and you lift it. You know, this only is going to come to you through practice, practice, practice. And you are the only one who can do it for yourself. So get your brush and get your paint and practice. So the liner brush can be extremely useful. Now, we saw the little brush before, the flat brush. Here's a tinier one. Same thing. Makes the same kind of strokes, but smaller. I like to use these when I put the windows into a building, and I can just do it with one stroke because it's so nice and precise. All right, the shader brush, same thing, but it just gives you a little bit more control because you can control where that point is going. You will find these brushes. You can get some at Art and Soul Gallery at Spiceland Mall in Grenada, or you can find them online. You can ask when people are traveling for them to bring some for you. It's all about getting what you need to make you be able to do the job. And the last one I want to show you right now, okay, I'm going to save it for last. I'm going to show you the palette knife. The palette knife I use when I'm doing palette knife paintings, but it's a great tool for putting down color, and you just use it like you're making butter on toast. And you will find that as you mature and you go on in your painting, this will be very useful to you. Last one, time for some fun. Okay, toothbrush. Get Daddy's toothbrush, don't tell him. Tell him, oh, he'll have to get a new one. All right, here we go. So lots of water in the paint, and this brush can make you have the spray on the sea. Watch, there it goes. Now if you were doing this on a seaside painting, you would do it with white, or a mixture of white and blue, or white and gray, to get some nice color. But this toothbrush is great. You can get all kinds of effects with it. Just make sure it doesn't go back to the sink for anybody to use afterwards. So brushes, we're going to go on. That was the shape and what they can do, and we're going to go on to learn a little bit more about how you can use them to get the best effects possible in your paint.